everyone! So, have you ever been in a situation when after a training you feel like your muscle is sore, it's hurting, every body is aching, you barely manage to wake up, and then you trying to go somewhere but your legs are not moving, your spine is really not bending? And what is causing all this nonsense? What's happening during our body? Why it's happening and how we can deal with it? One of the most important questions. So, what is happening here is DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Pretty easy term, which basically explains delayed onset muscle soreness. Our muscles are sore after a certain workouts, after a few hours, like sometimes it takes from 24 to 72 hours, and in this period of time we feel like everything is sore, like it's hard to move in a full range of motion without pain. What causing all this commotion? What happened here? So from where this DOMS is coming from? Usually it comes from some new movement, basically new, not only movement, because it comes from new movement, exercise, new tempo, which you are implying for today, or new intensity. So let's say if you used to work in a lower intensity, then usually for the training where you imply the high intensity workout, you will most likely feel delayed onset muscle syndrome. Pretty easy to remember. You will, after the whole video. So, what else can cause it? For most of the cases, eccentric exercise. Not only exercise, but basically if you amplify, if you are trying to focus on the eccentric part of the movement. What eccentric part of the movement is basically a lengthening phase of a muscle contraction. So basically, let's say you're trying to curl, and then instead of just dropping it down, you try to slowly control, release the tension of your arms. That's an eccentric load on your biceps. And it basically affects every other part here. Be it any row movement, where we slowly lengthening our muscle during contraction, or any other legs, every other muscle, skeletal muscle, which we can voluntarily move. So, why it's happening? What basically happened inside our bodies so we feel the soreness afterwards? There is numerous hypotheses. To be more exact, 6, which we're gonna describe today and talk a little bit about them. First one, which the most popular one, which are mostly people are used and try to implement that's the main cause of the soreness. It's the buildup of lactic acid, or aka waste product of our energy system. It's when our carbs breaks down for energy. When our body are lacking of oxygen for energy during a high intensive workout, we are using our lactate energy system, and after usage of this lactate energy system, basically there is a waste product is staying here, our lactic acids, which is causing a pain. Second theory, second hypothesis, it's basically a muscle spasm. So what is it about? It's painful, involuntary, very important matter. It's an involuntary movement of your muscle when it's not like you're trying to contract your muscle, but it's still contracting, and it's painful. Basically, that's it. It causes pain, as you can guess from the word painful, which can cause again this delayed onset muscle syndrome. The third hypothesis here is coming from connective tissue damage, or to be more exact, our fascia. Fascia, our connective tissue between our muscle, between our organs. Basically, one of the most important things in our body, which is actually not only being connective tissue, but very important for our nervous system. But this talk for completely other time. Just keep it in mind that fascia. 4 is a really simple one. It's just our muscle damage. So imagine here's a micro tear in your muscle, and then it's paining. Nothing else. It's mechanical type of damage. When people try to provide a proper classification for a different theories, they're trying to divide it in biochemical and mechanical. Biochemical is something that happened on the level of molecules, and mechanical is something that happened on the level of tissues, when tissues is getting damaged, and basically because of this you are feeling pain, or delayed onset muscle syndrome. So next one, it's pretty simple as well. I think everyone of our know what inflammation is, but I'm just gonna repeat it just for the case. It's our immune system response for the damage. Basically, let's say muscle get damaged or anything here is happening, and then inflammation happen. And because of the inflammation, we are feeling sore and pain. And the last one is enzyme efflux, Pretty hard to pronounce, not gonna lie, sometimes I mispronounce it. But it is here, and what is it? It's damage of our sarcoplasmic reticulum. Whew, I managed to do it. So, this one, don't put it inside your head. I'll be honest, it's really hard to understand because it's getting into an even deeper level of understanding of how our muscle tissue work. It's about the tubes, about calcium output, about how our muscle is contraction. It's a talk for another video, like complete other video, because it's a prolonged talk for 30 to 40 minutes again. But just keep it in mind that this is one of the hypotheses which can happen. Basically, right now, this one is information, by the way, from one of the scientist journalists, SportMed in 2003. Here's the number of study. You can basically look at it for here. The point here is that right now, the information didn't change too much from this 2003. We still don't have a proper explanation why it's actually happened. We still have only hypothesis. It's not very pleasant to hear, but sadly it is. And right now everyone is coming along with a certain explanation, and they're using it for most of the cases, as long as I know, that basically the late onset muscle syndrome is happened just because of ultrastructural damage of muscle cell. Yeah, and what does it mean? It means that everything here, it basically means this ultrastructural damage of muscle cell. Every other of these hypotheses. And even if someone is trying to explain like lactic acid hypothesis or muscle damage and trying to root that this is the case, for most of the cases people tends to believe that, not people but scientists, people who are really trying to learn how it's work, tend to believe that everything here is affected our DOMs and created these DOMs. So we not know, but right now have a proper idea how it actually happened, right? So what is creating it and why it's happening, but what we can do about it, because we're here not only to understand the theory, why it happened, we're here to understand how to deal with it, right? And to deal with it is actually pretty simple, and a lot of these case scenarios, a lot of people are already doing by their own and using it a lot in their practice. So let's talk a little bit about recovery strategies. One of the most important one, and basically which we can put in the bottom of every, let's say, pyramid, if you want to put it, we put it on the bottom of your health and onto your basically results in the gym. It will be a fundament, it will be something without this point. No one here, it doesn't matter basically, no, for most of the cases. It's our nutrition and sleep. The one another are bringing you recovery, and basically, as everyone know here, I hope that mostly we grow during our recovery time. We don't grow when we work. We grow after we work, and then we're resting, and now we recover, and then we come back to work and again recover. Don't get mistaken. It doesn't mean that you grow if you are not working. It means that after the work you grow mostly. So don't neglect this resting period as well. Try your best to make it as great as possible. How? Make a nice nutrition and make a nice sleep. About the proper nutrition, again, it's a very big theme to discuss of. Right now, just keep in mind that it's great to have a healthy food. Sleep is pretty easy. A lot of somnologists right now are getting to the one point when people are not needed to sleep on the certain times. What I mean by that? I say that beforehand, a lot of people was thinking that sleep the most valued from, let's say, 9 o'clock to 6. So 9 p.m., 6 a.m. Right now, this idea is getting behind a lot of somnologists, again, people who are studying the sleep itself, are getting understanding that it's not really matter when you go to sleep, if this cycle is repetitive. So let's say, even if you go to, let's say, at 12 and wake up at 8, you still will be feeling great if this is your sleep cycle, if your body feeling yourself great. So choose yourself a sleep schedule when you will be able to sleep for the proper 7 to 9 hours sleep, the same time every day. Be it 12, be it 11, just choose timing and try to follow it. Try to create the situation where your sleep will be the deepest, the most beneficial, when you will be fully recovering. The next one, It's light movement in the affected area. What does it mean? It means then, let's say, we was working pretty hard, again, let's use our biceps. Pretty easy to explain. Working to our biceps, and tomorrow our bicep is sore. So it's not a very great idea to come and grab the same weight and starting to move our bicep as well. But what can be a great idea is just to create some small movement that is going to increase a local blood flow, improve our nutrient path in our muscle, in our affected area again, which is going to speed up a recovery and going to remove, if we're still getting back into our previous theme, lactic acid from buildup of lactic acid from our muscle. Basically, everything here will help you to recover faster. So let's say you work on your legs. It means that tomorrow it will be a great idea to have a slightly walk. You work on your arms, it will be a great idea to have a little dancing. The third one, which is proven by many studies and have shown a lot of beneficial for the recovery techniques, it's massage. Massage, as example, can be a sport massage, delivering from other people, when you're just lying in a spa and someone is massaging your back. It's a great way to relieve, again, your DOMS. Foam rolling is a technique of self massage, when you just take a foam roller, and then lie down relaxedly. Relax your muscle on it. Or another technique of self massages. Be it massage gun, as example. I think you understand. The last one of recovery strategies, as you can notice here is a question mark. Why? Because sadly there is not enough evidence-based which is providing you a proper explanation. Is it work or is it not? From my practice, it's working. From a lot of studies that I looked for, it's working as well. But let's say I have 50 studies that 5 studies that showed that it's working, 5 studies that show that it's not. So I cannot say to you truthfully, from bottom of my heart, that I'm 100% sure that it's working. For most of the cases, 70% I'm sure. From my practice, I'm sure 100% that it's working. So it's temperature exposure. Be it a really hot temperature, like a sauna, or be it a really cold temperature, like cryosauna. As well as contrast shower, some cold bath, anything here comes to this category. Again, from my point of experience, my point of expertise, it does help people to recover faster. But when I was still in my athlete days, we was using sauna twice a week just to recover, and it was basically only cases when we was able to proceed with the type of trainings which we was following. And it was really hard trainings. We was basically overworked ourselves to the bone. So from my, again, experience, it's working. But for you, try for yourself. There's no correct answer in fitness. The ones that working for you is the correct answer. So yeah, guys, I think that's it for today. Not to get too much into the detail, let's finish here. I hope you're gonna feel today even greater than yesterday, and tomorrow even greater than today. So recover, sleep, eat, train, feel great. See you again.